What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about James Bulger. If you don't know who that is or what exactly happened to him, you are about to find out. This is the murder of James Bulger. James Patrick Bulger, born on March 16, 1990, from Kirkby, Merseyside, England, was abducted, tortured, and murdered by two 10-year-old boys, Robert Thompson and John Venables, on the 12th of February, 1993. A CCTV camera showed the boys shoplifting various items, including sweets, batteries, a troll doll, and a can of blue modeling paint. But the two boys would have an even bigger desire, as they were shown casually observing other children. And among those children would be 2-year-old James Bulger. The Strand Shopping Center was a new shopping center at the time, and like anyone else, James and his mother were there grocery shopping. James and his mother Denise would enter inside the A.R. Tim's butcher shop on the lower floor of the center to buy pork chops. At around 3:40, Denise would let go of James' hand to purchase them at the register, and after about 2 minutes, she would finish up with her purchase and was ready to leave. But when she turned around to grab her son James' hand, he was not there. Thompson and Venables had closed in on James, taking him swiftly by the hand and leading him out of the shopping center. The incident was caught on a CCTV cam at 3:42. Thompson and Venables would then take James to the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, which is around 1/4 of a mile from the New Strand Shopping Center. There, they would pick James up and drop him on his head. They would also punch him in the face numerous times, bruising and busting up James, with painfully suffering injuries. The two boys would even joke about pushing James into the canal, but they would then take James on a 2.5-mile walk across Liverpool. The crazy thing is, by this time, they were seen by around 38 people, and actually an eyewitness even saw James at the canal and said that the boy was crying his eyes out, but did not go over to him and see if he was alright. In fact, only 2 out of 38 people had challenged Thompson and Venables, but they either claimed that James was their brother, or that he was lost and that they were taking him to a police station. At one point they entered a pet shop but were soon kicked out, and not one other person found it strange or intervened in any way. Eventually the boys would arrive in Walton, Liverpool with James, and across the road from where they were sat Lane Police Station. This would make Thompson and Venables hesitant at first, but then they would lead James up a steep bank to a railway line near the former Walton and Anfield railway station. There, one of the boys would throw blue paint that they had shoplifted earlier into James' left eye, and they would grab him, throwing him to the ground, kicking him and stomping on him. They even threw bricks and stones at him and placed batteries into his mouth. Some thought that they even sexually assaulted James. Finally, the boys dropped a 22-pound railway fish plate onto his head, and he would sustain 10 skull fractures as a result of the bar striking his head. Pathologist Alan Williams stated that James suffered so many injuries, 42 in total, that none could be identified as the fatal blow. Thompson and Venables laid James across the railway tracks and weighted his head down with rubble, hoping that a train would hit him and his death would be ruled as an accident. After they fled the scene, James' body was cut in half by a train, and his severed body would be discovered by a group of children 2 days later. A forensics pathologist testified that James had died before being struck by the train. The police suspected that the boys had sexually assaulted James, as his shoes, socks, trousers, and underpants had been removed. The pathologist's report, which was read out in court, found that James' foreskin had been forcibly pulled back. When Thompson and Venables were questioned about the attack on James by detectives and a child psychiatrist, Eileen Vizard, the pair were reluctant to give any details. The breakthrough came when a woman, upon seeking slightly enhanced images of two boys on national television, recognized John Venables and remembered seeing him playing truant with Robert Thompson in the Buttle area that day. So she contacted the police, and the boys were arrested. Before they knew who committed the crime, another boy was detained for questioning, but was eventually released. However, his troubles did not end there, as he had to flee the city due to threats from vigilantes. Psychiatrist Susan Bailey reported that visiting and revisiting the issue with John as a child, and then as an adolescent, gave no account of any sexual element to the offense. John Venables was freed from prison at age 18 in 2001 and handed a new identity, but landed himself back in jail in 2010 and in 2017 over child sex images, but then was released. He is now currently serving a 40-month jail term. Alike with John, Robert Thompson was also released in 2001 at the age of 18 and handed a new identity. He has managed to stay out of prison since his release in 2001, and it is believed that he is still living in the UK. As for James, he is buried in the Kirkdale Cemetery in Liverpool, England. Well, that was the murder of James Bulger. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.